Welcome back, Officers of the Republic. Is your Coruscant Underworld Police Chief AP Gaines here, and I'm here with an important video for all of you guys. It's been requested a lot, and it's probably one of the most important videos that needs to be made for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Now, we all know the game is a grind. You start off either free-to-play or pay-to-play in a shard with a set number of people, and from the get-go, it is a rush to get ahead of your opponents, to claim top spot in Fleet Arena, to claim top spot in Squad Arena, to do well in Grand Arena as well. And all of the territory war, territory battles, all of that requires getting ahead of everyone else. And how do you get ahead? The best way to get ahead, free to play, entirely free to play, is to join a good guild. Now I'm going to teach you the secrets of how to actually join a good guild, because there are so many people who play this game, and it's very competitive getting into these top end guilds. But with limited resources at your disposal, I'll tell you how to do it. Really quickly before we continue with the video, we're trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of April. So if that's something you want to be a part of, please click the subscribe button, like the video. If it's not something you're interested, don't worry about it. We're going to hop right into this. So we have our game open. This is Nikki Biggs' account. This is my girlfriend's free-to-play account. Never seen Star Wars, never played a Star Wars game, doesn't know anything. She followed the AP Gaines approved strategy. Really quickly, I'll just show off her roster. Partially, this is due to the fact that she is in an okay guild, but otherwise, this completely dominant free-to-play roster in a very quick time frame revolves around the AP Gaines approved strategy. But what makes this different? So if you're running the AP Gaines approved strategy and you have a fantastic roster as well, what sets her above the rest of you guys? It's the fact that she is in a guild, and was from the get-go, that does these heroic raids. Now, what do the heroic raids get you? Her guild couldn't sim couldn't sim this raid until recently, but she's getting her Han Solo shards really quickly, as well as some of this gear in here every time they sim that Han Solo. Now, that's not amazing. Lots of good and lots of okay and even below average guilds do the pit raid. She's doing the AAT raid, which is getting her negotiator shards, or not negotiator shards, General Kenobi shards. That's really helped her out. She's getting some of these currency as well as she sometimes can get her hands on some pretty nice gear. And most importantly, she's getting in, she's always last, always last, but she's getting in on these Treya shards. So she's usually around here, so she'll get to about 5 to maybe she'll get 6 if not a lot of people participate, if she gets some damage in. And what this allows her to do is build up her raid characters really quickly. And the raid characters are some of the best characters in the game. If you follow the AP Gaines strategy, you're going to have your CLS and Padme right off the bat. By the time you hit level 85, you're going to have Han Solo. If you get into an okay guild, you're going to have General Kenobi, and those two really help out the CLS and Padme squads. Now, another great thing about being in a good guild is you have access to guild events like territory wars and territory battles. Now, if you go into a territory war, usually she places a team on defense and does absolutely nothing. And you might be saying, well, how can I get into a good guild if I do that? And the answer is you can, but we're going to talk about how you can weasel your way into a nice little guild like this. So, we talked about why being in a good guild is helpful. Now let's talk about how you get into a good guild. Now, there's a couple of things that guild members, particularly if you go above 150 million GP, and maybe above 200, maybe above 250 million GP, there's a couple of things that they're going to want. They don't care much about your activity in events or in guild raids rather, because you probably got guys with SLKR soloing all of these, so it doesn't really matter all that much. But what they do care about is what you can contribute to them. So in order to take advantage of what they can give you, you have to be able to offer something back to them. Now, here is a big point of contention that I hear a lot of people talk about. It is the Geonosians. Now, my guide has you farming up Geonosians, but it actually has you stopping your gear farm at like gear 7 and stopping your upgrading of Geonosian Bird Alpha at 4 stars upon unlock. Now, if you don't have a connection, say in my Discord, where you just make a nice friend, you get into a good guild, which is how most of my subscribers get into nice guilds, is they just hop over on Discord, chat up some people, and we have guild recruiters in there. You find yourself a nice little home. What you might have to do is get your 7-star Geonosian Bird Alpha, get your guys up a little bit, so that when you do the Dark Side Geonosians territory battles, you have a nice squad. You can contribute a Wat Tambor shard. That's how you make yourself a viable asset to these guilds. Now, it's not always necessary. If we go on my main account, I still have a 4 or 5-star Geonosian Bird Alpha and a 250 million GP guild. And they don't know I'm a YouTuber, so I don't flex that muscle on them. But what you can do is make some friends. Another couple of things that you can do to help out is have not only a high roster, because if you guys have a good roster, you can probably get into a guild, but have specific teams that if you message a guild recruiter and they ask you, well, what can you do for territory wars, territory battles, say, well, I might not have the strongest roster, but let's pretend this account's higher level than it actually is. Just say like, hey, I got a really strong Padme team. I can do some work on light side Geonosians territory battles. I have a great bounty hunter team and a Sith team, so I can get you a couple of 4 out of 4s on dark side Geonosians territory battles. I have some good free-to-play Galactic Legends counters that I've built up on my team if you're about mid-game. That could even get you into a really powerful guild because they're always looking for ways to defeat Galactic Legends on the territory war battlefields. So if you go into these Discords, or you go to my Discord, you message these guild recruiters, what you're going to want to say is, hey, I've prepared my roster to go against things that might happen at the at the levels that you guys are competing. So if you stray away from the farming guide I have, or maybe you get to the point where you're like, hey, I really want to take a huge leap and get into a guild that I don't necessarily deserve being into, these are some of the strategies that might take you away from the general farming guide that I've suggested. See like my video in my Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes guides videos about free-to-play farming from 0 GP to 3 million GP, for instance. So if you want to make that jump and you're saying, man, I want to go off the roads, you're going to have to pick one of those strategies. You're going to have to either have a super relicked out team so you can help people get cam shards. You're going to have a nice Geonosians team so you can get Wat Tambor shards. You're going to have some free-to-play Galactic Legends counters so that you can help people on the territory war stage. You might even have to prepare a couple of extra light side or dark side teams, maybe that don't go in line with what you want to farm, but really help out getting 3 out of 4s, 4 out of 4s in dark side territory battles. So that you can, get a couple extra million points, help your team out, get some more stars. Maybe they max out their stars, stuff like that. So those are just general strategies that can help you get in. Obviously, the best thing is to make a friend, of course. Like, I got my account. My account's really good, but I'm in a guild that's way more powerful than I deserve to be into. What I did was, I went into the forums, I went into the comment section, I went into the Discord, I made some friends, and I got myself into a guild. That's really the biggest secret, and I know it's going to be hard for a lot of people because a lot of people don't have those connections right away, especially if you're new to the game or you don't really watch videos, you don't interact with the community that often. You might not have an opportunity to get those relationships built up, but what I say is, hey man, go into one of my video comment sections, my Discord, another YouTuber's comment sections, another YouTuber's Discord, participate in the community, build up those connections so that you can come away with a potential in for a guild. If Nikki Biggs wasn't my girlfriend, she probably wouldn't have been able to get in this guild. But, if she was on the forum, she was doing some sort of stuff, she probably could have made a friend, got into a guild. That's kind of all it is, boys. Make yourself either attractive as a utility or some sort of friendship thing. There's not much to it. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, I love you, and I'll see you later.